Green, green, green.
Oh, but Koa holds it around the outside, and he gets a way better exit.
Pushing hard, already 3 wide into turn 1.
A little bit, and a group of Astons just piling up on him, trying to hold everybody off. Push him wide a little bit. Oh, but you can't make it stick.
Busha is able to hold the inside.
Got a little overlap, but he can't do it.
Ooh, and he just caught it.
Mr. Sir and King are banging doors.
Oh, shoot. And we're off and away for SRA.
Welcome, SRA Nation, to Race 6, Season 6 here at Oulton Park. A nice sunny afternoon here in the UK and a great race ahead of us. We have the D1 folks out today. These people represent some of the fastest in our league and, by extension, some of the fastest in North America. These drivers are absolutely no joke. We've been seeing some heaters being put down in the practice server. by many drivers, which we'll get into a little later. But right now, we have our silver drivers out on their qualifying laps. Pay close attention to Jess Osborne's little photo there, because that was pretty epic.
Oh, no. We don't need to look at that. It's just me getting pilloried for my awful performance last week and my expected awful performance this week.
Well, there is time for redemption here at this short track. Actually, it's in Belgium, right? But
I have no idea. I'm a very uncultured.
I don't know where Oulton Park is. It's somewhere in Europe. It's not in America. I know that.
Feels British.
It sounds British, looks British, feels British, so therefore it's British. But we have Madhouse Racing Beans on top. That is the team of Jeff Spangler and Ryan Yee, absolutely dominating this season.
I think they're getting too comfortable up there.
Yeah, I feel like maybe we need a like a nerf on them or something,
Maybe like 20 kilograms.
Yeah, 20 kilogram ballast every week to let other people catch up, because they're at 787 points. The next people of TSE Vroom Car Drive of O'Brien and Mercer at 581 points. They've been doing very well this season.
Very well.
Pillars Racing Left Twix, Diego Fermers Casas, and Nick San. Also, another team to watch out for. Two more teams that have a potential to really make some big jumps here today. Well, maybe not this team. Grid Thieves Motorsports Papiga Flash with James Riley and Felipe Vicini. They're in the Ferrari, and the Ferrari doesn't like this track very much. But Champion Motorsports Vantage Point with Nate Specht and Matt Lehman. I know Matt Lehman has the third fastest lap in our qualifying server so far, so definitely going to be the team to watch out for today.
And just 1 point separating those two.
Yep. Fierce battle for fourth place. And no drivers, no driver standings. But we're looking at the silver drivers out on their quali lap here. Not too many have put in times yet. Actually, a couple have.
Some of these silver drivers we're really going to want to keep an eye on, because something about this track or something in the water, I don't know, has just put such a huge spread between the drivers on the field. And namely, some of the lower division drivers are just cracked around here, and they're putting up times well above their division. That includes drivers like Rania Over and Dan Good. They are wicked fast around here. They're making a bunch of their gold division peers blush.
Yeah, Dan Good right now with 133.397. That is an absolutely smoking lap, especially for your first lap out. Ronnie Over 133.475, also a very fast lap. Nate Specht not too far behind with a 4.87. Chris Stefiak with a 33.5, and Fazley with a 33.5. I'd really like to see Fazley do good here today, but Nate Specht putting it down with a 132.9. So these times are going to continue to shave off here, as we have 5 minutes left of our silver qualifying session here, so a lot of laps to be had. And speaking of Fazley, he's in the wall.
You can't park there,
straight into the pits. I a little bit of commentator's curse there. Sorry, Paz.
Yeah, actually, that is my fault. It happened right as I looked. How else do you explain it?
Right after I talked good about him, and then right after you looked. But
I should know better. I'll work to be better.
Dan Cran, previously a D2 driver last season, has been really doing good here. He is currently in 5th place right now with a 33.37. Down nose lap right now, but we expect him to improve. Rania Over still improving on his lap right now as well. He might be able to eke something out, and not enough to get a position there. Who are other gainers here? Chris Brown, 2/10 up on his lap. Camera doesn't know what to do, but his previous lap is a 33.5.
Late into his lap, getting caught up, invalidated in between people leaving the pits. Chris Brown's improving a lot in Sector 2. He's finding 4/10 now. That's just about enough to put him on the potential podium right now.
Yeah, that if he can hold it together, that would put him in 4th place. But Nate Specht is continuing to put down really fast times. He's at a 132.8, so he's got that Aston screaming out there. Loic, who we saw doing quite well in the practice server with a 32.967.
Rooker Quig having a little bit of a hard time around this track in the Godzilla. Unsurprising. I don't think anything about this track plays to its strong suits, does it?
No, I don't think so. I mean,
he's finding time though. On his banker, he's now found 5/10.
Mr. Unlucky number Kevin Lau.
Oh, and he throws it all away.
2.5 tenths up on his lap right now.
So is Dan Cran.
Yeah, also 3 tenths up. Lau is 3 tenths up now. Can he hold it to the line? He's going to gain to the line, and that's going to put him in 9th place.
Just edging out Dan Cran right now. But Dan Cran puts it up to P4.
Wow. Nate Specht with the fastest time so far, and still looking at improvements. Almost 2 tenths on the clock for him right now. He may or may not be able to hold it, but right now he's over 1.5 tenths up on his on the next person. A minute left of quali. So these
looks like
drivers
Fozzie's finally going to be able to put together a respectable lap. He's got 4 tenths up. P8.
Yep,
not bad.
Not bad.
Not bad at all.
33.2. Ronnie over looking at improvements here. He's almost 3 tenths up on his lap. This will put him in P3, I believe, if he can hold this. Maybe even P2. Maybe even P1. He's looking at 4.5 tenths right now.
Still climbing.
Oh my goodness. Coming up to the end of his lap,
does it.
and he takes it with a 32.787. Nate Specht takes it right back, though, with a 32.732. So only
Rania
a couple
over faster
hundredths.
in Sector 1. Nate Specht faster in Sectors 2 and 3. By 5 hundredths.
It looks like Nate is going to pull over and go to the pits here. Victor Diaz also electing to do the same. So that is the end of the silver qualifying session. Still some drivers out on the track finishing up their laps. Fazli Majid up almost 3 tenths up on his lap right now. This would be a very favorable position for him if he can hold this. He's the last turn here. He can. It's going to put him in P2. No, P3 losing a little bit. P4 at P3.
P3.
With a 132.950. Very, very good lap. Like I said, Fazli has had a bad lick last couple of races here.
He
so
has.
It would be nice to see him have a really good finishing position here.
Just one W,
and
please.
P3 is a really good place to start, though. Nick Sand, last driver out on the course here, that is improving, but just barely, going just up, just down on his time, and he's not going to be anything, maybe a hundredth. But yeah, so he's going to end his qualifying session with a 33.272. Not where he really wants to be.
So I don't know why he's even still on the track.
He's, I don't know. He's chill, I guess.
Dan Cran coming into Sector 3, no improvement. Decided to make some use of it and practice the pit lane entry. And with that, we have our first gold drivers out, getting ready to put in their banker.
A bit of a slowdown here at the end, as expected, as these cars queue up, leaving a gap for each other to make some good passes. Evan Kim, I think, is a driver that could do really well here. He's a very consistent driver. He has a lot of race knowledge, and he's obviously very quick. Hasn't really had quality times that he's wanted this season, but if he can keep his nose out of the early lap carnage, I think he can do really well just by outpacing the field with experience.
No, Evan, he's slow as hell. He's just going to lose.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding, Evan. I love you, buddy.
Yeah, screw that guy. Ryan Yee, the man of the season and last season, who is putting down his first lap here. See where he ends up. He has the fastest time in our hot lap server at the moment, and that time is a 32.242. So that is his potential here. It's very hard to be able to put something like that down in such a short amount of time and with a lot of pressure under you, but we're going to see.
Ooh. All right, so Matt Lehman has put in a very strong banker, putting himself in P3, but he's immediately invalidated. And so is Coadromo after putting in a good enough for P10. And so is Travis Robinson. They've all got a throwaway lap this lap.
Well, at least they got their banker in.
Gold division in shambles. Get it together, boys.
Matt Lehman with the 32.7 is not a bad banker lap at all, but looking back at our hot lap server, he has the potential of a 32.427 as his fastest registered lap on our SRA servers. So that time could creep down as these laps continue to go. 6 minutes left for the qualifying session. Ryan Yee's first lap is a 33.277. Improving about a tenth so far, now 3 tenths, 4 tenths. Really hit that chicane hard.
Oh, he's flying. He's on for podium right now.
Just Ryan Yee doing Ryan Yee things.
True. All part of the plan. Be surprised if this wasn't happening.
Travis Robinson also making some very notable improvements here.
But he was invalidated. Now he's starting a fresh lap.
Okay. Ryan Yee's 6 tenths up on his time now. This is going to put him in first here by a considerable margin. Now, 7.5 tenths and climbing, and that's going to put him in first with a 32.535. So he's still 3 tenths off of his very best, but I mean that could be, if not a lap to take it home for most people, it's gonna probably be our top 3 or top 5 lap of the day. So very quick and already making improvements, almost getting sideways through that fast kink there on the front straight there. Now he's already a 10th and a half up. So like I said, Ryan Yee doing Ryan Yee things.
Danny the boy Durant's up 4 tenths, flying this lap right now. 5 tenths. Oh, Danny boy, don't go to the sand. I'm not calling yet.
He wanted to go back to his childhood, have a little time in the sandbox. But Jay Nixon is up 4 tenths right now. Now 5 tenths to the last corner, and loses Yeah, 2.5 tenths, a little earlier on the throttle there.
Still a good
But
improvement.
still going to be a good improvement till to 20th with a 33.3. Marlowe has had a bad first lap, but just brought it home for a very good second lap here, and puts in a 32.9, putting him in 5th. Going back to our hot lap leaderboards, Marlowe was one of the fastest here in SRA with a 32.397 in second place overall. Already invalid on his lap here, unfortunately. 2 minutes and 40 seconds left of the qualifying session. Odromo up 2 tenths right now, coming towards the end of his lap. Just a look on his onboard here as he goes through these final corners, keeping it nice and tight, bringing it out.
That corner's just so much fun.
That's a good one. Braking nice and hard here. Got to be patient. Correct the car. Let it slide out. Hit that curb. And he's going to improve a little under 2.5 tenths here. Move him up to 10th place with a 32.9.
And Travis Nordstrom's right on his tail. He's improving a 10.5. That's enough to dethrone Koa. We got a little loose there. He's losing his time. That delta's going to 0 real quick. Still enough for P9. By the skin of his teeth. 8 thousandths above Trav. Trav's gotta be mad about that.
Making huge improvements here.
But he's
going to 5th place. Well, he's invalidated now, but he just moved up from like 15th all the way to 5th place with a 32.8. Very fast lap from him. Odromo invalidated and yellow flagged again here. 1 minute and 14 seconds left of the qualifying session. Hopefully, he definitely can. He can bring that car around for one more lap here. And it's looking a little bit like it's an Aston Martin summer over here. Jeff Spangler breaking up the pack a little bit, putting it in 3rd with a 32.7. But Nate Specht, Matt Lehman, and Ronnie Over sitting all in the top 5 here. So that's 3 out of the top 5 being Aston Martins.
I just want to play that drift one more time that Danny Durance just did. Look at that. Making it look easy. Sick save. Oh, but it's not enough. We all die in the end. And that's it for Danny.
So Matt Lehman is not going to be able to improve anymore here. The qualifying session has just ended, and he's going to end off his qualifying with a 32.7. I'm sure he's very unhappy with that. But a couple more drivers on track here. Not many making improvements. Ryan Yee and Jeff Spangler making improvements. Jeff Spangler actually even on his time now. Yep.
He doesn't
That's
need
how you know
much
he's consistent,
to be
though.
Nate. He needs 100.
All right, spin out. All right, spin out. All right.
And he does it.
Oh, no. And he does it. With a 32.687.
Totally unbiased
And,
coverage here, by the way.
Yep.
Professionals.
And yeah, so that is the last of the improvers. Marlowe has the potential to improve here, actually. Coming back from a deficit. Marlowe, again, has the 32.3 potential, like we saw in the hot laps. Sitting with a 32.9 right now, even on his time, more or less.
Ryan Yee's doing
Improving
a
a little
victory
bit
lap,
now.
even though nobody's challenging him for
It's
pole right now.
ridiculous. It's like 2.5 tenths, something like that, to the next guy. Just not even fair. Yeah, Marlowe's the
And
last
nobody
person on track,
improves.
not going to be able to improve. So that is our qualifying session for today, folks. Ryan Yee on top yet again in first place. Jeff Spangler in second. Nate Specht holding it down for the silver division, putting in a very, very good time, sitting in third place. Ryan Yee, though, is looking like the favorite to win. He's got quite a bit of time on the rest of the folks here. If he can keep that squirrely Honda under control, which he has so far this season, then I think this is his race to lose. Let's do a little bit of a track walk here.
Sure, we've all gotten very familiar with these cars by now. Shout out your favorite. Surely you've got one by now. Here's mine. Sheesh.
All right, I'm going up to mine. Okay, you get to show your favorite. I'm showing this one. Okay, big shout out Champion Motorsports, the best conglomerate in the entire league. And look at these liveries.
Pretty good
These
one.
liveries were
Pretty good.
made by Chris Holmes. He's an absolute Chad, and he made these liveries so nice. And the matching one up here of Nate Specht. Little customizations on each one as well. Interesting grid here. 2 Madhouse drivers up in front. 2 Champion Motorsports drivers close behind. So a little bit of teamwork is going to be involved here. But looking at the starting grid, even being a couple positions back from where you are, you have the potential to make big moves here. Get that jump, get a good couple corners in.
Yeah, I think a whole lot is going to happen on the first 2 laps. A whole lot.
Well, it's Oulton Park, so I would expect nothing less. All right, stop going up and dropping and all that stuff. I'm trying to do a track walk here, guys.
They're so inconsiderate.
I know. Just stop making setups and stuff like that. Just use the safe preset, man.
Easy.
Yeah.
It's safe, free, and easy.
All right. Beautiful track walk. I would like to take this time while we are going around the track here to shout out some people. I'd like to say a huge thank you to our SRA sponsors and title sponsors for supporting us here at SRA, as well as support from Documise, modern business solution for product management. Go to documise.com to learn more today. And support from Retro Saga, a North American-based gaming company that provides accessories for your favorite classic systems, including Nintendo, Sega, PlayStation, and much more. Enhance your retro gaming experience today at retrosaga.ca. A big thank you to our affiliates as well. Track Racer. Experience redefined gaming with Track Racer's high-quality sim rigs and accessories. Use code SRATE at checkout to support us. Armamentario, a toolbox for ACC that will enhance your chance to win. Enjoy a fully customizable and enhanced HUD to change the way you experience ACC. And to Go Setups, premium esports setups for everyone. Use our affiliate link on our Discord if you're interested, and take your drive to the next level. Big thank you to all those folks for help supporting us here at SRA, keeping the servers on and allowing us to do all sorts of fun stuff. If you're new here and just now tuning in and don't know anything about SRA, I would highly suggest going to discord.gg/Sim Racing Alliance or go to our website, sra.gg, and finding out how to sign up today. We have all sorts of fun activities going on, weekend sprints, endurance series, multi-class mayhem, and of course our weekly team series sprint, which we are watching today.
Somebody bonk Victor Diaz. find his parents to upload his livery?
I don't know. Yeah, Victor Diaz. I swear I saw in another server. I don't know. Something's going on there.
And they're lining up. It's about showtime. One more corner before the main straight and we're away.
And the thing is, some of these drivers may even start like halfway around this corner.
Oh,
They're like
true.
on this kink here.
People in the back,
'Cause we got a long train of cars here today. 33 people joining us for this race. Lining up here on the main straight. I'm on board with Nate Specht for this beginning here in the picture-in-picture. And we are off and away for SRA Race 6, Season 6 here at Oulton Park. Staying nice and filed through turn 1. Oh, and we have a champion motorsports driver getting real squirrely. That is Matt Lehman dropping positions rapidly. Now in 8th place, getting it back on the track nice and safely.
Oh, and we got Peter O'Brien immediately off into the next bit.
And Dan Cran also sliding out and having to let the pack go by.
Oh, he's all the way up on the... Oh, no, that was somebody else. Just absolute chaos through turn 2. Looked pretty safe through turn 1, but not the finest moment.
Hey, not too bad in the grand scheme of things. This is a
It
very
could've been
hard
worse.
track for people to get down.
Still nose to tail from P1 to P32.
Very, very tight track. Rust losing out of position to McCroat here. Rust is wheeling that Nissan around the track, GTR. Him and Quig are the only two madmen to dare to do that. Ronnie Over getting real up close and personal with Nate Specht. Only a 10th separating these two. These folks have had a fierce competition here this season. Ronnie Over was a D2 transplant moving into D1, but making a big splash
Definitely.
and a name for himself by putting in some really heater laps.
Durant's going up the inside of Gomer Wilson in the into Sector 3. Taking P26 off of him. And now he's got Chris Brown to deal with.
Lehman back into the fray, 7th position, 2/10 off the back of Marlowe. Gaining that position back from Travis Robinson after his little off track in the beginning there. Really nice and clean here from the D1 folks. Already people taking out bollards, which is what you do.
Oh, he's getting real bunched up here.
Dan Cran going off and having to go through the gap in the wall there, but getting back on track safely, quite a bit behind the rest of the pack. 10 seconds he's got to make up, but with the pit window open, he could use this opportunity to kind of break that pace and bring the fight later on down the road. Yeah, so we have a 55-minute pit window here. Very long pit window, allowing drivers that get damage early on to hop in and fix that damage and try to make the best of the race. Loic, the first one taking this opportunity, if I can catch him, as well as Fimers Casas. This order is moving quickly here. Nixon, O'Brien, Brown, Schwartz, all heading into the pits.
Grant Cleansing has been making Chris Steffiak sweat for the past half lap. Wow.
Lensing is one of those drivers that I think has the potential to be one of the greats here in SRA.
Oh yeah.
But he just hasn't had, either the qualifying pace or some bad luck in the races. If he can string a season together in a good car and really, focus in on getting those lap times down, I know that Cleansing is a very smart driver.
Oh yeah, at least around here, clearly the only thing he's lacking is raw quality and pace, because he's definitely got the racecraft to follow and beat people.
Lehman still bringing the fight to Marlowe, only 2/10 off, and they've been that way since the first lap. Really keeping that pressure on. You can see that Marlowe has fallen off the back of Rania Over by 1.3 seconds. And by extension, Rania Over has fallen off the back of Specht by 1 second. Matt Lehman,
Into the pits.
and a weird switch up for him, has elected to go into the pits right away.
Bold move, Cotton. We'll see how it works out for him.
Matt Lehman has been the overcut king, so we'll see how this works. Mercer also taking this opportunity, as well as Bray. Of note here, I didn't catch this earlier, Spangler was actually in the lead.
Yes, he
Two
is.
Madhouse drivers on the same team, Beans, pacing with each other. Yee only 4/10 behind. Dan Good catching a yellow flag here. I can't seem to catch him. Come on, camera. I know you can do it. Yep, he's
Ooh.
just
Big Hardy hit
caught
into
that
the
wall there. Yep. Hood is up on that Honda, which is never a good sign. Especially here, such a tight and technical course. Having bad aero damage like that, it just really makes it 10 times harder. Patrick Rust is bringing the fight home. Only a 10th off of McCroat here. Now going side by side through the third sector. And he's going to take this position.
No, he doesn't have the inside. Chilsey said Lehman's pit was several years long. What happened? Let's see.
Yeah, I was trying to figure that out. He was in the pit for a very long time.
Yeah,
Time in pit was 49
stop,
seconds.
total. Yeah. Stopped
Yeah,
for
32 seconds stopped. Did he
That
take
sounds like an
tires?
accidental tire change to me.
Ouch.
That's
That
a
is
big
a-
oof.
Bad way to ruin a good race.
Thank you for the honor of the ground reporting there. Thanks for the tip.
His teammate, though, Nate Specht, is still hanging out in 4th place. 5/10 off the back of Nordstrom.
And these drivers have got to be fuming about that bollard in the middle of the freaking apex. Excuse my language.
No, we'll never get a TV sponsor.
We're ruined. Ruined. We'll never work in this town again.
The field has spread out a little bit, though. Some of that due to the diverging pit strategies, but some of that due to the tight technical nature of this track. There's not a whole lot of passing opportunities. It is almost best to just kind of hang out and pace with people.
The front
Our
hasn't opened
closest-
up much at all, though. Spangler and Yee have pulled out 2.5 seconds on Nordstrom, but after that, they're all real close enough to make each other nervous. Rania Over's been reeling in Nate Specht over the last lap or so.
Ronnie Over has actually been losing in pace. He was a second, now he's 1.3.
Yeah, he was within a second for a moment. He'd lost it.
He is
And
turning
he's
in
dropping
slightly
now.
faster times, though, but I don't know. Our closest battle right now, we have a good little train that's developing here. Cleansing, Durant, Wilson, and Kim. Pink Lamborghini leading the pack. Talking about Evan Kim earlier, who, like we were saying, is a very smart racer. I think he can do really well here. Stayed out of the early lap carnage, like I said, and he seems to be holding his own here.
Look at Durant's getting this huge run around. I think that's turn 13. The Porsche can just fly through there. Not enough to get any overlap for the next bit, though, so try again.
A note of our race pace so far. Our last laps from Ryan Yee was a 34.1, Nordstrom a 34.6, Specht a 34.3, Ronnie Over a 34.5.
It looks like rather than try again, Danny goes into the pits. Ronnie Over has found that second wind again. He's reeled in Nate Specht, only half a second behind now. I think it's about to get real feisty around P3.
On Coadromo, who is 5/10 off the back of Travis Robinson, sitting in 8th place right now. Just set his fastest lap of the race of a 34.2, slightly slower than Robinson.
Victor Diaz has McCroat huffing down his neck. You know what it is? It's probably just livery. The livery adds 5 horsepower, and Victor's missing it.
Yeah, the bare carbon fiber is like creating a disturbance in the air
Yeah,
or
the
something.
surface isn't smooth.
Yeah.
Oh, and McCroat thinks about hanging around the outside, but you absolutely cannot do that through that corner. Finds himself on the marble and runs wide, praying for an opportunity to get back on the track. Will he? Won't he? Will he?
I'm just
Look at
waiting
that
for the
camber. The banking is so extreme. He had 2 tires on at one point, so he's just like kind of balancing and tiptoeing. Right as Michael Hefe is coming around the track.
I'm waiting for this slingshot moment, though, with Spangler and Yee. Yee has been keeping a steady half a second, a little over half a second behind him.
Constant.
But, a little bit of shake and bake. You better shake it before you bake it.
First you shake it, then you bake it.
Nate Specht is still bringing the fight to Nordstrom. He's been on his tail for quite a while here, turning in slightly faster laps, 2/10, 3/10 separating the two. Going on to his onboard. Specht is just keeping it so buttery, crispy, smooth there. Now as drivers are dropping into the 33s. You guys want some more movie quotes? Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. He's using some Doc Hudson knowledge here.
Oh, and Trav misses the apex a little bit. Not enough to ruin his exit, though. But Koa inches closer. Oh, meanwhile, Diego gets around Ivan McCroat.
Wilson taking this opportunity to pit right now.
Oh, why is Jeff Spangler yellow flagged? He's off track. I gotta catch what happened. What happened to Mr. Spangler?
He is still turned around on the apex.
Oh, he took too much curb. That's why. Too much
Yep.
curb and understeered. At least he's in one piece.
Ooh, he's almost blocks Fazley coming in through here. Now he's going to try to take this 2x2 through the chicane.
He relents.
Maybe not. Fazley gets ahead.
That's gotta hurt. From P1 to P9. Could be worse. He's only lost 14 seconds, but that still hurts.
Well, there you go. Ryan Yee is your race leader at the moment. But Spangler is going to have immediate pressure from Diaz right behind him, only 4/10 back. Fazley 3/10 ahead. He's definitely got the pace, but, you know, after a spin like that, a lot of times you lose that confidence.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
you know, we'll see what he does here.
Patrick Rust.
Patrick
falling 2
Rust.
spots from Kelvin Lau and Chris Steffiak. Not sure what happened there.
Jinx Yomi Soda.
No, you. Stop it.
Your Toe GD says his prize fantasy pony bottles it, and he's pissed. A lot
who
of
bottles
folks
it?
participating. Talking about Spangler,
Ah, right.
but a lot of folks participating in the CJA Fantasy League.
Oh, hold on,
Spangler
Jeff Spangler
gets ahead
goes
of
to the
Fazley.
inside before the hairpin, hangs it around the outside, and gets the better exit and gets the job done. Now Victor Diaz is thinking, now it's my turn.
Yeah, so let's take a look back at Lehman. We saw that he was in the pits for entirely too long
Yeah,
there.
by about 30 seconds.
He is sitting in 29th at the second, putting in a 34.2 lap time. Seems to be holding his own back there. Doing a little bit faster than Chris Brown in front of him. It's Chilsey says that he's predicting a P10 out of him.
That's possible,
I would be
yeah.
tempted to agree.
After
Only
the
10
pit's done,
seconds.
shakes out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about right.
As long as he can keep it consistent, he doesn't have anyone in front of him slowing him down. And Alatufo says lots of time for Spangler to salvage a podium. I agree with that as well. But not if Nate Specht or Travis Nordstrom have anything to say about it. These two have been going toe-to-toe all race, and they've been putting in some stupid fast laps.
Jordan Nixon trying to go up the inside of Matt Schwartz in the last corner. Not quite a good enough exit to get the job done, but he's still looking on the inside for the next corner. Matt leaves the room, but still sweeps around the outside. Jordan Nixon trying to get a better exit out of it, but he can't. Not on that curb. And now this fight's getting a lot more, what's the word, claustrophobic? A Porsche sandwich now. Or is it a Mercedes sandwich? Because the Porsches are the bread. 2 Porsches in front, 2 behind. It's a double-decker sandwich. Trying to cover off Peter O'Brien. It's working. What a battle in this pack right now. Wow. Got like 8 drivers now within a second of each other right here.
When even more joining the fray.
Yeah, if they keep this up, Matt Lehman will be joining them soon.
Victor is falling off the back of Fazley here as he puts on the Jets. Found his confidence again.
Nick Sand trying to get alongside of Danny. Hard ask to pass around the outside of there, though. And that's just going to lose him time to Gomer Wilson. Grit. Or no. Yeah, I clicked on the wrong guy.
Taking a look at Evan Kim as he was bringing the fight real close to Patrick Rust in that bright yellow Nissan. As he's going side by side and takes a position, looks like Rust kind of gives him the position.
Yeah, not too much fuss.
None of them have pitted. Maybe Rust he really wanted to be next to his homeboy, Quig, as the two Nissans join together. We have a driver request from us. Sim Racing Alliance has put in a driver request for Codromo.
I didn't know we're allowed to do that, but I'm already looking at him. You didn't have to ask me.
Well, we'll do a double screen on him for you, Doug.
Yeah, I'll go TV2, you go TV1. Get all the angles. Work it.
I'll do the driver cam. How about that? So you can look at his.
Yes.
By
By the way, y'all should
with
customize
black
your drivers.
head.
Put your
come
favorite
on.
colors on there because we will look at them eventually.
I want hot pink. I want
It's
all
called
hot pink.
fashion.
Mm-hmm. Spangler losing positions again here to Diaz and Majid. Not sure what happened. Maybe it's too late for a replay. But he's 5/10 off the back of these two again. Maybe. What's going on here? Race. He just wanted to be with Lau. He wanted to be with his Madhouse teammate here.
That's
And
my
as
friend.
he goes off again and lets Lau by. Spangler is not having a good time with it.
Not ideal.
Looking at Loic here. He's all over the back of Jeffries. Is Jeffries... any of these people pitted? Yes, Loic has pitted. Jeffries has not. So Loic definitely wants to get by him here. He's holding him up just a little bit. I mean, Jeffries and Cleansing, they're on the hot pink gang. All the Pillars Racing Mobiles, they're pretty close. It's more like a fuchsia.
True. Still counts, I think. It's in the neighborhood.
Nah, it's not. It's not even close.
It's pretty close. Chat, what do you
No.
think? Does fuchsia, is it in the same area code as pink? Specifically hot pink.
No, hot pink. I mean, you either go hot pink or you just don't go at all.
Or you go fuchsia.
No.
Fuchsia's pretty great. But so is
visiting
teal.
track 5.
Who is this? Who is this intruder? Who dares?
This is your correspondent, Douglas Mitchell here, visiting trackside. Can confirm hot pink and fuchsia are in the same color table.
Told you.
That is a hot take.
I think we really need to look at our trackside correspondence contract here. Start looking at firing them, reducing their pay, something like that.
Wait, y'all are getting paid?
Mostly in expired Lindor candies.
Well, at least you're getting something. This is quite an entertaining race. I've been pleasantly surprised by how little death there's been.
It's been great.
Yeah, very clean, very little death. These drivers have just been kind of plugging away behind each other. Not a whole ton of passing, but there's not a whole lot of passing opportunities here. As many have pointed out, this is a race of attrition. These drivers, they got to keep it on track here. A lot of areas to make mistakes that maybe don't put you in a wall, but will lose you, seconds here, seconds there, and that can really add up at the end of the race.
Something I haven't heard you guys discuss is the probability of drive-through penalties because of track cuts. I personally got 3 track warnings in a mere 30 minutes in the practice race yesterday. How do you guys think the drivers will fare?
I wouldn't be surprised if we get like 1 or 2 drive-throughs at least. I didn't get 3 during the practice race, but I did pick one up pretty early. It's not too hard to do.
I haven't seen too many people
like
going
this,
off track there as we see Travis Robinson do exactly what will cause you a track cut there.
That's Codromo sneaking by there as a result. But yeah, interesting to note. I'm surprised you guys weren't concerned about it. I had several people in the chat that I was in last night that were picking up drive-through penalties, sometimes from just simple mistakes or picking up some after avoiding cars on track that may have had their own incidents. So I think this track in particular is a little bit less shy about handing out those track cuts.
True.
Well, Doug, when you get to my level, you don't worry about things like that anymore. Okay, when you get as fast as me, then you'll understand.
It's true. I've seen it.
When you are fast, you just hop over the track cut sensors. That makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, if you cut the entire track, then you can't hit the little sensors at the end of the corner.
No one will ever know.
I have seen you do that in the past few races, Paulie, with your off-track ventures. That's what you're doing.
I mean, I'm taking exploratory lines. Okay.
You heard it here first, folks. Paulie is exploring between the lines.
Yeah, I mean, they call me the Lewis and Clark of sim racing. I take my big boat of an Aston around. Just going all over the track. Really doing the big testing here, making sure that we have the fastest lines possible.
Cutting edge research going on over here.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. That checks out. The chat has mentioned that they feel like fuchsia is between pink and purple. And other people are arguing that magenta is closer to the descriptor. So, you heard it here first. You can see it at the front of your screen here of Grant Klimsing's Lambo. I think that we're all in the same part of the color spectrum here.
For sure.
And we don't discriminate against different shades of pink. So.
No, we love them.
Yeah, looking good. I think it's definitely mimicking the Iron Dames car, which I'm a personal fan of.
Well, I think we have a really off-base commenter here. Hexa Decimator says the Lambo looks red.
Check
you're
your
gonna
color
have to get
settings.
your eyes checked. I can, if you want, I can give you the yellow books for the optometrist.
I think the Decimator has decimated their retinas with too much screen time.
Yep.
Definitely. But technically speaking, pink has some red in it, obviously because of the necessity of that.
Because of the way that it is.
Exactly, the structure of it, I mean, kind of like, all of us have a little bit of red in us, But at the end of the day, it is not closer to red, it is more closer to purple in this instance, I think. But that being said, let's get away from the color spectrum because we are very inclusive of all colors here, and let's look at, we're on board with a yellow and black car.
Patrick Rust and Brooker Quigg.
These two are probably in heaven right now, simply because the Nissan GTR is not the worst car on track.
Are you sure?
For this specific track. Guaranteed.
If
you look at specific leaderboards, the Nissan GTR is actually considered a primo car over some other cars on this track. So
strange. I would have guessed and I did guess the exact opposite.
You know
Yeah.
what we're missing here today? Every single Ferrari. There's not a single Ferrari on track.
That is not coincidence. I promise you that.
Yeah, I was looking at some of the hot lap leaderboards, and I was feeling sorry for some of the folks. So it's yeah, no Ferraris here tonight at all. Yeah, Biga Flash is taking a major L on this one.
That's
I
why we
saw
have
several
drop races.
drivers, throughout Discord chat mentioning that they were humble Ferrari drivers. As we see side-by-side action between Nick Sand and Matt Schwartz.
Matt
This
Schwartz
is a
still has the
dangerous
inside.
area. That's about as much room as you can leave by Nick Sand. Nice job there keeping it clean. Matt still has that overlap, and we're going into the chicane, and this is difficult to say the least. Oh,
little bit too
brave
much
move
corner.
from Matt. But almost death on re-entry as Klinzing gets slowed down, is now side by side with Brown also.
This is definitely a dangerous situation going on here.
Lehman losing out to that.
Lehman will be patient. He's notorious for knowing when to strike. And speak of the devil, side by side again. Klinzing just getting absolutely eaten up. The Lambo has no answer for the curbs, while the other cars can just soak it up. But back to what we were discussing before, many of our drivers were that drive Ferraris were very nervous about this track, making several instances where they legitimately said they're just going to skip this week because of how terrible it is.
Cowardly behavior.
I concur. I think that you pick your poison. You want to be in a Ferrari. You got to deal with the good and the bad. But
And at
that
least
being
try.
said,
Like, even if you know that it's going to be awful, maybe it won't be. Maybe that's the race that, hey, you get like 30 points. It's okay. Cool.
nah, it's definitely gonna be bad. But to your point, we all sim race for the enjoyment of it. At the end of the day, if you're skipping a race day, that's just one less day with your friends on track.
True.
I would like
Speaking
to
of friends on
point out-
track,
yeah,
side by
Rust
side of the
and Quig.
GTRs.
Yeah,
Trading spots.
Blind Hen Racing, not so blind right now. Eyes wide open and looking straight into each other's eyes. Romantic affair on track, in tandem, perhaps hand in hand, swinging around these different corners. As you see Patrick Rust get real squirrely on shot there. Maybe team orders are in order. Rooker, is he going to relinquish behind Patrick? We'll see.
him electing to go into the pits after he was battling real close with Chris Defiak.
Victor Diaz is finding the wrong side of the track while trying to fight Kelvin Lau. Let's see what
That
happens.
is not the optimal line.
Spangler also in the pits, just not heading out.
Here's the instant replay. Oh, too much curb, loses it, and car does not stop rotating into that braking zone. Game over.
He does manage to keep it out of the wall for the most part,
Yeah, it
which
could
is
be much
nice.
worse. Much
Yeah.
worse.
I don't know if you guys remember, only the OG SRA members can recall when we did Oulton Park for the first time, and yours truly, as we see more side-by-side action here, I will pause my very stupid story to review how this
and
goes.
Durant gives Evan Kim just the slightest of touches, but Evan Kim keeps it on track on the black.
Very lucky to keep it there. As we see a drive-through assigned to Mr. Matt Schwartz, the first victim of the evening.
There's one.
He did collect one at the practice race yesterday, so didn't learn from those mistakes yesterday. That's tough. But as I was saying before, vintage SRA members can recall when we did Oulton Park
Please
for the
don't
first
call
time.
me vintage.
Well-seasoned SRA driver can tell you that when we did Oulton Park for the first time, yours truly went off track into that hairpin section, taking that high speed left a little bit too much, and plowed into the barrier. And they have Daehee Yoon assigned that as the Dougie. So,
Oh,
I
yes.
remember. And then
in
I
other
did it
words, yeah, this track is the bane of my existence, and I hate every part of it. So.
Well, the first time we did Oulton Park season 1, it was like the last race of the season, and Justin Rowley was right behind me battling for the championship, and I totally binned it like face first into the wall after the last turn, going onto the straightaway. Just not. I don't even know what the heck I was doing. Collect like 3 people. It was horrible. I didn't even get a ticket for it. I don't know. He still won the championship. It was really
People
close.
just feel sorry for how abysmal of an effort it was.
Yeah.
And that's why you're in the booth today and not on track, okay? Just we keep you away
Burn.
from our other people. Hey, myself
buddy.
included. Myself
Buddy,
included.
I've been in D2 since D2 inception, okay, and I'm fighting to stay there. All right, watch me next race, okay. All you guys slept on Champion Motorsports, slept on Paulie Hartman, okay. You guys are gonna see.
Paulie,
Mark my words.
No one is sleeping with Champion Motorsports. I can promise you that. They are undesirable. All jokes aside, Michael Jeffries, one of the last few drivers to not pit in this grouping here, is really holding his own, abusing and leveraging the new re-emphasized blue flag procedures here. The protocol is that you do not, if you're being shown a blue flag, you must yield immediately. So staying out and preventing himself from being shown as many blue flags as possible is definitely aiding his venture right now.
And now it's
yeah,
over.
Deathmater, blue flag, obviously they're racing for position at the moment. What I'm hinting at is that if he would have pitted earlier, he would have come across drivers that would have been blue flagging him.
Yep.
But now he is staying out much later, almost preventing that from happening in its entirety.
Well, as you say that, Jeffries hops into the pit. And
Coach is always looking to make me look stupid. I'm telling you.
yeah, he's probably listening to the stream.
Wouldn't surprise me. I mean, look at in the top right. Coach Jeffries Academy is a main sponsor here. He's always the big brain behind the operation. He's always got his pulse, a finger on the pulse of the league here. As Grant Cleansing goes off, smashes
Jeffries
a
goes
board.
off.
Oh, that was Jeffries,
The very same. Speaking of the devil.
the coach. Well, that was a big old power slide. Yeah, comes out, hits that big bump. Cold tires from sitting in the pits. Smashes that left styrofoam board, and then elects to just carry on like nothing ever happened.
And Lau heads into the pits.
I'm glad to see Kelvin having a good race. He's had some very bad luck since being promoted from D2 to D1, but finally able to mount a good race so far.
And speaking of good races, Ronnie Over and Nate Specht still holding the same 1 second gap, give or take the entire race here. Very impressive. But Ronnie Over is just now starting to reel it in a little bit.
I agree with Alatufa in chat. Coach was definitely listening, and after speaking so highly of him, he was distracted. Now this is Grant Cleansing going side by side with Gomer Wilson, and loses the position on the outside there. Goes a little bit wide and picks up some dirt. Mad props to anyone that's driving any car other than the Porsche, the Aston, or, the Honda. Basically, all these other manufacturers need that extra love.
I resent that remark. Anybody driving the Porsche, even when it's OP, deserves kudos just for driving the Porsche.
No.
They get plenty of
Worship
kudos.
me.
We can be done.
Think I'm cool. Tell me I'm cool.
I reject your reality and substitute my own.
You know what I want to see is more Bentleys on track.
That would be cool, just for some variety.
They were dominant in the first couple seasons.
Yeah.
They were going crazy.
Didn't
Now no
Evan
one
Kim
wants to
drive
touch
it?
him. For a long time, he was a part of the Bentley Boys Club. Come on.
Absolutely. What a time to be alive. The days of Jacob Wolfman. DJ Jacob Wolfman.
Fazli Majid coming out of the pits now. Finding himself a nice little slot. 19th position. 21 minutes left of the race here.
We have
Ryan
Dan
Yee.
Good in chat saying that he had another hardware issue and his screen went black
Damn.
So another race lost out to hardware issues. You hate to see it.
Sorry, Dan.
Well, Dan, you did pick like the number, okay? You might have done it to yourself. No, wait,
He
no,
literally
sorry,
said-
that's
he literally
that's
No,
Kevin Lau with
Kelvin
the
Lau has
666. Yeah.
666, but yeah.
Oh, and
Ooh,
Andrew
what is
Anderson
Dan
into the
Goodson?
wall
Oh,
in the middle of sector 2. What happened? Oh, too much curb.
just Porsche
Well,
things.
Good. We have a little known rule in SRA, the dueling rule. If you can kill your opponent in a real life duel, you can take their number.
That is not true.
I thought it was only true in countries where dueling is still allowed, which might be none.
All right, Google. He says BRB. Countries.
Yeah, the chat saying in game, like.
Oh yeah, in a video
Let-
game. Dueling in a video
Yes,
game.
let's specify. Yes, let's specify. You must walk up to them in real life, drink a beverage out of a shoe, and then smack their across the face with the glove, and that's how you initiate the driver number change.
There are no longer any countries that allow dueling. The last legal duel occurred in Uruguay in 1971.
That late?
That is
Wow.
that is
I
surprisingly
was
recent.
expecting like 1950.
Mr. Zero the Hero rating us with a party. Thank you for joining.
Thanks for the raid.
Come on. Watching Division 1 absolutely tear up Oulton Park. Toe GD gets it. You have to announce that you challenge them to a duel, or it doesn't count. I think we should have some like formal like racing duels. Some of our drivers, they're definitely got their mutual rivals on track. Maybe a 1v1, good like vintage Call of Duty days. Just quick scoping on Rust.
Would it be like
Just
a
a
10-minute
1v1.
practice session? Whoever puts in the fastest lap wins?
No,
100%.
no. It's they both start out side by side at the start finish line, and no rules. Bump and runs, full on pitting, do whatever it takes to win.
While I answer Evil Burritos chat, can one of you guys look to see what the leader's pace is per lap right now? But Evil Burritos asking, what time and how long are the races in this league? All of our races formal races, I should say, for this GT3 main series, take place on Tuesday or Wednesday nights, depending on what division you're in. And subsequently, they start at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, and they are 60 minutes long.
And the leader's pace right now, his last lap was a 33.992. Travis Nordstrom putting in a 34.1, Specht a 34.2. Ronnie Over closing that gap on to Specht with a 33.9.
So tire wear is definitely coming into effect, but even still, their race pace is faster than what I can do in qualifying.
Yep.
So much
By a
pace.
lot for me.
So much pace. Paulie, what's your race pace looking like?
I don't reveal these secrets, okay?
Oh, you don't want to play your
Classified.
cards?
No.
Proprietary information.
Like I said, you guys are just gonna have to wait and see, okay?
All right,
Champion
you heard it here first,
Motorsports
folks.
is going to the top. Okay, we are already at the top. Okay, but we're going even higher. Okay, we're like the Burj Khalifa. Okay, we're going up.
You're going through the clouds
Oh yeah.
for literally no purpose whatsoever.
But
Just
you know,
'cause.
that's just what champions do.
It's not like
here
they're
at Champion
strapped for
Motorsports.
space over there.
You're not wrong. When you're building in the desert, everything is free real estate. Chris Brown pushing super hard, trying to get past Grant Cleansing, making his presence known here on the front straight. Into the high-speed left-handers. Better exit can result in a run into the corner, but he doesn't achieve that.
Doug, is that the desert the lack of talent from the other drivers that are not in Champion Motorsports?
Wow, it's like a
I think what
metaphor.
you meant to say was that you know what, I'm gonna save this burn because it's not appropriate. Needless to say, it's a desert out there for anyone that is driving for Champion Motorsports. Meanwhile, all the other conglomerates are participating in what feels like a rainforest. It's real moist. Feeling good out there. But that being said, for all of you wondering who is going to best each other in the D2 races tomorrow, tune in to the Twitch channel tomorrow at the same time, 9 p.m. Eastern, to see who performs better on track, me or Paulie.
Paulie, wow. Oh, hold up. Ronnie Over and Nate Specht going side by side here. Where'd that even come from?
Oh,
They were a
it's
second apart
already
from each other.
happened.
Nate
Let me
Specht
catch the
taking
replay.
back that position, though.
There's a replay on the big screen.
I was watching that split, and then all of a second, it went from 1 second to 0.
With the slightest of touch trying to go around the outside, or hanging around the outside. Very close racing
There's
there.
slamming the door, and then there's slamming it in their face. That basically, Speck just said, you're not going anywhere near this apex. I'm just going to cut across the front of you. But that being said, both drivers survive, and the battle will resume as previously mentioned.
Hey, this is what champions do, okay? It's Champion Motorsports, baby, okay?
They drive
We-
filthy.
We don't take any prisoners, okay? We do whatever it takes to win.
By
That
any
checks out.
means necessary.
That checks out. I did notice that Grant Klinsing picked up a drive-through penalty. That is another tough one. He was having a good race result despite having a car that is absolutely insufferable around this track.
Or on most tracks. Sorry, what?
Garbage.
Sorry,
Snakey
Aiden
doing a
Grover.
driver request for D. Mitchell. I don't know if that's a joke because I used to be in D1 or
Get
if
his
it's a
ass.
genuine request. You will never find me in a D1 race ever again. I am too slow.
Washed up. Happens to the best of us.
It was a joke, Snakey. How dare you?
Get his ass.
Yeah, well played. If
Michael
your
Jeffries
streams,
getting around
Snakey,
Dan
weren't... Oh, there you
Oh, and here comes
go.
one more.
Get it, Poppy. Dan Cran going off, taking out
Oh, because Travis
a...
Robinson was coming through.
Yeah, that's tough. But Dan Cran going off and having a moment of his own.
And here comes Nate Specht and run you over too.
Yep. They've closed that gap yet again to 0.2 seconds as they go through the final corner here onto the main straightaway. And Nate Specht elects to pit.
Ryan E as well.
12 minutes left of the race. Very interesting.
Probably feeling the pressure from running over saying, I'm getting real tired of this. I need to take a break.
It's a very dangerous track. Sometimes it's better to play the safe move. You know, Champion Motorsports, we have the strategies, you know. We think about these things.
Victor Diaz comes screaming into the pit lane. That was definitely
Leaving some-
touching the wall, too. That might have been speeding and collected some damage on the way in.
Yeah, definitely
If-
left some paint on the wall.
Diego Fimbres Costas with the drive-through penalty, also noted by Decimator. That is tough to see.
Ouch.
Really
Diego's
sucks
also
to
one of the
work
first
this
people to
hard,
come in.
this long for
Yeah,
a
you-
race and just get slapped with that at the end.
He's also one of the first people to come in and pit. Caught a lot of traffic, so that definitely couldn't have helped that situation. It's a championship shaker-upper, very potentially.
Shaker upper. I couldn't agree more. The championship is shooketh. Diego
Mercy.
currently holding on the P2 in the driver's standing, so this will be a potential drop race opportunity for him. Every driver gets one in the SRA GT3 Team Series.
Even though we might need more.
So drivers who have not pit so far with 11 minutes left of this race to go. Nordstrom over Marlowe, Dromo, Robinson, Stefiak, Quigg, and Rust.
Someone very handsome and intelligent previously requested Koodromo to be viewed on track. How is he doing?
He's doing really well. He's didn't he qualify P4? At the very least, his on the lap time leaderboard he was P4, and that's where he is right now. With
He's actually up
Marlowe
seven-
not far ahead at all. 1 second.
Seven positions up from his qualifying. So
Love that
Yeah.
for him.
hasn't pit quite yet, so we will see.
Just living his best life. What does it take for me to get Normando to remove that silly extra little face in his name?
I don't know. You're the leader. You're the supreme leader. Knock him
Yeah,
down.
kick him.
Ban him from the whole league.
I want to hear from chat.
Ask an admin.
Should we make him remove it out of principle or let him keep it because we are very generous leaders? Yep, ban is the first.
That's my chat. Tucker Z.
Some people are saying keep now. Okay.
I say keep it just because he's French Canadian. And he's, I don't know. I
Are you
feel
in
like
for? Oh, what was that?
Dan Cran going around the outside of Ivan McCrow on corner number 1.
That would look like the Porsche of McCroat was going to die, but somehow it snapped back and he caught it. Yeah, some love for Mr. Lau in chat. Love to see that.
So, Toe GD is saying that you need to make an agreement with him that you will protect his mom from Duran if he takes the face off.
Here's the thing. We don't need to protect his mom from Duran. We need to protect Duran from his mom. Snakey's also asking at Duran's expense if Duran left his Ferrari parked at home because of this awful track, and I think that the unanimous understanding is that all Ferrari drivers are sipping very expensive Italian coffees and eating very expensive Italian spaghetti or other fancy pasta dishes somewhere else other than the UK right now. As we see Normando pressing the envelope with Patrick Rust here, and that forces Mercer to take an absolutely emergency stop instead of parking up the back of Loic there. So good
avoidance for sure.
avoidance there. Yeah, that's the word.
Koodromo into the pits. Where is he going to come out?
Well, Latufo pointed out earlier that Ferrari got ransomwared, so all those they're not going to be able to afford those Italian coffees after they steal their bank details, or get their bank details stolen, rather.
Ferrari, like Lamborghini, have almost gone out of business several times. They'll manage. They always come back out.
Somebody will buy him.
Exactly. Koodromo ends up coming out in 6th place, but number 1 in our hearts. Something about these Italian car manufacturers, they know how to make a beautiful car, but they don't know how to run the business too efficiently. But hey, well, I mean, when you're selling a Polo with the Ferrari logo on it for $150 and people are buying it, you're doing something right.
Yeah, I don't think they really even care about doing business efficiently. I think they just want to make race cars. I think they make regular cars because they have to.
They make very nice cars, and then they take a break midday to have a latte and big ol' meatball and a bowl of pasta, and then they're good to go.
Nixon getting a little squirrely on the track there. Durance and Lehman close behind.
As Al would say, yeah, as Al Latupa would say, a bippity poopity.
Taking my girl to the local Buca di Beppi.
There you go.
It's probably like why their cars are so unreliable. It's their entire blueprints for the car. Bippity boppity boopity. Bippity boppity boppity boop.
Yeah, the 3D drawings are corrupted because the pasta sauce spilled on the keyboard. Oh, not again. Oh, as we see Patrick Russ blinking and going into the pits.
5
Brooker?
minutes left of the race here.
I was looking to see where Brooker Quigg was, and he still hasn't pitted yet. Finds himself in P9.
Gonna have to pit real soon here.
You're running out of time. Yes. Alatufo, again, just very well equipped with Italian knowledge of their culture, saying that they take their siestas and they have vino or wine for lunch. So you heard it here first. That is the Italian culture in a nutshell, and I am not misappropriating anything.
Looks like Matt Lehman is unable to make the strides that some people had predicted for him. Sitting in 20th position right now. Still a couple people left to pit, so it's going to pick up maybe a few positions, but yeah, that accidental extended pit stay really hurt him. 13 positions down from a start.
What he could be dealing with is that if he didn't anticipate taking tires, his PSIs may not have been saved properly in his setup, and then now you're dealing with new tires that you didn't want, and the PSIs are all janky. So that's what he may be dealing with. I have done that before myself, and it is not a good time. Roman Craig. First time chatter, welcome to SRA. Gabagool 488 Evo. Love that. Hey, personal culture.
Bulking and going into the pits here. Diego didn't lose too many spots, all things considered. Sitting in 12th position right now. And yeah, he's doing all right. 4.5 seconds off of Spangler ahead. Lau behind, 0.5 off. Get a little highlight to this battle going on. Actually, sorry. No, Matt Lehman, Quigg, and Durrance. Quigg came out right in front of this group here, and Durrance gets sideways in a scene very similar to lap 1 of the practice race, and goes out. Let's take a look at this one more time. Come on, camera, work with me. Yep, just loses the back end, and these drivers just cruise on around.
All things considered, he saves the car masterfully and saves himself from the Shadow Realm. You can see here Brooker Quigg putting some immense pressure on Nixon here. What can the Canadian do?
They touch. Run you over, Nate Specht. On side by side, trading spots in turn 1.
Making that AMR very wide, and as some other commentators more famous than me would say, some argy-bargy action going on. Roniover is probably getting immensely frustrated. Expect some immense pressure, especially with the likes of Code Dromo entering the equation. Ronio is going to feel the immense pressure to get by Nate so he doesn't compromise himself to Code Dromo also. As Code Dromo gets a much better exit out of that chicane, Ronio, we're going to park it right in the middle of the track.
Matt Lehman going side by side with Quigg here in the picture-in-picture. Now only a 10th off as they go down the big stretch here into the hairpin. That's the technical name for that part of the track, the big stretch.
Ooh, big stretch.
Really?
No.
You're a liar.
I would never.
You had me fooled. Important to note that Brooker Quigg now has to deal with the likes of Matt Lehman behind him, which is not a good place to be if you're Brooker Quigg. You were just minding your own business, and then you have one of the speediest drivers in SRA sniffing your bumper.
I think that's assault.
At the very least.
A lot of drivers grouping up real good here at the end of the race. We have battles going on between Over and Dromo, Marlowe and Robinson, Mercer, Spangler, Lau and Diego, Stefik, Majid, and Diaz locked in a three-way battle. Nixon, Quigg, Lehman, Durrance, Evan Kim, all within less than a second of each other and battling hard. And Wilson and San. So a lot of battles happening here in the final seconds of the race. For now, I'm keeping it on Lehman and Quigg, the closest of the splits on track right now.
More gentlemanly behavior by the Lamborghini of Jeffries, allowing cars by. Ever so politely. And again, with fire in his eyes, Ronya Over continues to push. Where is Yi on track? With 7 seconds left, Yi crosses the start-finish line again with only 3 seconds left to start another lap, despite being ahead by an immense margin. Did not need to do that. He could have slowed down and literally rolled across the line.
BKP says Dromo Cam, and I got to give it to him. Actually,
He's on the big screen.
We got that. Yeah, we got that on the big screen. Bamboozled me.
He's in this fight.
He's right there. AP is Dromo's dad. Love to see the family support showing up in chat. Dromo's having himself a fantastic race, managing the Porsche on this very difficult track, and putting his car within the top 5. And if Ronya Over and Nate Speck come together, that could be a very easy podium moment. As a car goes off, two cars go off. Travis Robinson has a big moment, and who's the Porsche spun around in the hairpin?
That would be Ivan McCroat.
Oh,
Yikes.
We've seen this before. Too much curb, except this time he spins to the inside instead of understeering, he oversteered.
Big
Typical
yikes.
Porsche things, but he threads the needle right back on the track.
Very lucky there to not collect somebody else and add some extra damage to the equation. But here we go back to the Dromo equation, applying that pressure to Ronya Over and Nate Speck. This is going to get dicey as we round the final few corners. And Yi crossing the final finish line there, collecting P1. Nordstrom holding P2 quite comfortably around the final corner. But this, for the final podium spot, is getting as close as it gets. Ronya's basically about to push Speck over the line. And there you have it, 3, 4, and 5 right next to each other. And a respectful P6 for Marlowe right behind them also. Trav Robinson limping his broken Porsche to 7th, Normando 8th. And Mercer holding off Spangler within a few tenths for 9th and 10th, respectively. And that's your top 10.
Write that down, write that down.
Fimbris Costas, despite serving a drive-through, a very respectable 11th place. And Kelvin Lauer, D2 transplant, E12. Awesome performance there. Both Brooker and Patrick Russ finished this race in great positions for the GTRs, but Brooker gets the best of his teammate, finalizing a P18. Nice job. Lehman, despite an absolute nightmare of a pit stop at the beginning of the race and a broken strategy, finishing 19th.
All eyes on Grant Cleansing as he is the final car to cross the finish line here, coming in 27th.
Nice
Somebody
job.
asked Patrick Russ for me. He was yellow flagged really early while crossing the line and going really slow. Is that because he was out of fuel or something?
Oh, I don't know.
That was really weird.
We need to get a good trackside correspondent to answer that question.
We do. We need some interns. I mean, help.
Well, on that note, I'm going to leave the post-race review and reporting to the two gentlemen on screen right now who are much better at this than I am. Thank you, Paulie and Jess, for letting me steal some thunder this evening.
Thanks for joining us,
thanks.
Doug.
Yeah, of course. And thanks to everyone in chat and on track for participating tonight. Much love goes out to each and every one of you. And we'll catch you again next time.
All right, and that is going to lead us into finding our drivers for our interviews here. We're looking for Yi, Nordstrom, Specht, Over, and Jeromo.
Roll call, report. Make
If
yourselves
you guys are in that list, make sure to head over to one of our servers here so you can get interviewed. And the first one I see, I'm just going to have to bring my man Nate Specht up.
Let's do it.
Nate Specht, welcome to the commentator's booth. Fantastic race from you. That is a P1 for your division and a P3 overall.
Yeah.
I mean, absolutely fantastic. You were hoping for a finish like this last week when you were up here, but how are you feeling out there?
Well, shout out to Rania Over. Whatever his real name is, I wish he would just put his real name so I can call him his real name. He was driving so well, so clean, battling. When he came out of the pits, gave me all the space. Without him driving that clean, I would not have finished P3. Him putting the pressure on me to go faster kept me in P3. That was intense. That was the longest lap of Oulton Park I've ever done. That was fucking crazy.
That's awesome.
But yeah, that was the highlight of my SRA career so far. So first podium in D1. Yeah, that's big time for me.
Yeah, we were watching you, sporadically throughout the entire race. You were putting a lot of heat on the portion in front of you. I forget who that was. That was
Nordstrom.
Nordstrom, yeah, Travis Nordstrom. So you stayed like half a second behind him for many, many laps, and he was, continually staying a second behind you and getting close, getting further, getting closer, getting further. So really great job keeping up that pace. And I'm glad that you're finally able to get a finishing position like you wanted out here. Definitely not going to toot the Champion Motorsports horn here, but you have some of the fastest pace in D1, and you have that potential to be up here week in, week out. So at
least at Oulton, I do.
You other drivers, you better watch out for this guy.
Well, Oulton's my track. Oulton was one of the first tracks I ever learned back in Project Cars 2 days. In a little Formula, I don't even know what it was called, a little Formula V car. So I know Oulton really well, and I always love racing here, but it was pretty sweet.
Well, it showed,
happy
man,
I could...
and the camera loved you.
This will be a fun one to watch back, that's for sure.
All right, Nate, thanks for joining us, and don't celebrate too hard.
All right, thanks, guys. Have a great one.
You as well.
Bye.
All right, who else are we looking for? We're looking for... I'm going to bounce back and forth here. We're looking for Ronnie Over, Ryan Yee, Travis Nordstrom, and Koa Jeromo. If you see any of those folks. I see Koa Jeromo.
And Ronnie Over. Who do you want?
Ronnie Over.
I'll move him in. Hey, Rania. Congrats, man. Great drive. Hello?
Am I here?
Yes,
Sorry.
you are.
Yes,
You're
you were
on
up here in the
TV.
booth. Yeah, we were watching your drive there, battling with Nate Specht at the end, and keeping it in second place for the Silver Division, fourth place overall. Fantastic drive from you. I remember just a couple races ago you were in D2, but now you are absolutely rocking D1 and the Silver Division. Just another fantastic drive from you. How are you feeling out there today?
Well, all right. It was a tricky race. I'm a little disappointed in the second silver. I did everything I needed to do to win. I had some rough luck with some lappers coming out of the pits. Decided to spin in front of me in turn 2. I lost a full second, and when I came out of the pits and got doored by Nate there, I was like, God damn it, that did it. So it was a little disappointing. I drove my balls off once I saw him pit. I knew what I had to do, and that was my only chance to get by him, and I did it, but it didn't work out because the lappers.
Well, I mean, there's always next week. This rivalry is really starting to heat up here between you two. You guys seem to be bumping doors relatively often now. You guys seem to be in relatively close pace. I know Nate Specht actually thanked you for keeping him on his toes this race. How are you feeling about your competition between you guys?
Yeah, no, it's great to have close racing like that. It makes it that much more frustrating when to lose it the way I did. No, I mean Nate drove a great race. It started out, and he was stuck to the back of Travis Nordstrom there. I apologize to him about the practice race last night. I'll get that out of the way. And they got away from me a little bit, and then I started closing back in kind of around mid-race there. I was finally able to get my laps a little more consistent, figure out what I was doing wrong, and I got up on him, and he ducked in the pits, and I knew I had to send it those last few laps to get in front of him. It just didn't work out.
Well, a fantastic race from you, and we hope to see some more interesting battles between you folks next race.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Great
thanks,
job.
guys.
It's been a real pleasure.
Yeah, thanks, guys. I just got to throw a shout out to all the boys at the SYS Discord and SYS on YouTube. Check them out. Thanks for all their support, and also thanks to Ghost Rider Racing for helping me out during the week and get up to speed as quick as I have.
Awesome.
All right.
All right. Thanks. See you next time, Rania.
Oh, I moved him out.
That's all
Okay.
right. Who's next? Trav? Ryan Yee?
Yes.
Let's go, Trav.
Trav, get him in here.
Hey, Trav.
You're in the commentator's booth, and we're congratulating you for your P2 finish here at Oulton Park. Fantastic race from you. We were just talking to Nate Specht and Ronnie Over about their performance, but Nate was glued to you for a good bit of the race there. But how are you feeling about the race overall and the competition out there?
Oh man, competition was tough. I mean, I was expecting, I was hoping to take it easy because this is a hard track. You have to make mistakes and stuff, or it's really easy to make mistakes. And I was hoping that those guys would fall away, but they didn't. They stuck with me the whole time. It was tough.
Yeah, it was, you had quite a bit of camera action on you as you guys were just kind of pacing each other for much of the race. And in the end there, everyone grouped up real tight and was battling for P2. Very interesting battles, and I think you'll be excited to watch those parts of it back. But yeah, another fantastic race from you. How was the car feeling out there? How were your tires over the race?
Car was feeling okay. The tires were actually pretty good. I had a little bit of graining, but I actually ended up starting this race with a little bit extra pressure because I figured, there's so many opportunities to go into the grass, lose pressure there. A lot of curbs that you can hit and lose pressure. So that was fine because I overpressured. If I didn't, I probably would have been pretty low and it probably would have started hurting. But actually was pretty decent the whole race.
All right, well, that's good to hear for all those folks that are going to be trying this one out tomorrow. But thank you so much for joining us up
Well,
here,
I've
and
got a question,
congratulations
though.
on your.
I want to know the
Whoa.
timeline of your emotions for this race. At what point were you kind of confident that, like, okay, I've got podium on lock? For how long were you nervous?
It was nervous most of the race. Yeah, it was probably after the pit stop, after both of the Astons took their pit stop, and I saw us 5 seconds ahead. Then I finally felt like I could start slowing down a little bit, but not until then. Until then, it was like, man, if I don't keep pushing, I'm gonna get pressured by Specht.
Right, still working for it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And then also, actually, one more thing is, I thought for sure I was gonna get a drive-through on my pit entry. It was so close. So close.
Did
I think
you?
I think I was
Never
under by
mind.
like
I was saying
a
someone else.
kilometer per hour. It was I was like the whole time as I was about to hit my pit exit, I was like, no penalty, no penalty, no penalty. And sure enough, it was fine. But man, that scared me.
Ollie, who was it that we saw scraped the pit entry? Definitely
That was
the paint on the
Victor
wall.
Diaz.
That was
Yeah.
That's right. It was a black Porsche.
Yeah, Victor
That was funny.
Diaz
Some
came
people
in
were
really
hustling
hot and
a bit.
ping-ponged off the walls in the pit there.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely a straight shot sometimes can catch you off guard with how short it is. But yeah. Anyway, thank you, Travis, for joining us up here, and congratulations on your P2.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
Man. All right, I think that just leaves Ryan Yee, right?
Yes, sir.
I'll get him in here. He has no idea what's coming. It's never been more over.
Well, Ryan,
where-
the man, the myth, and the legend. I already have him in here. Yeah, I'm just that quick, Jess.
Too
Okay.
speedy, just like this boy.
Yeah. Speaking of speed, Ryan Yee just absolutely obliterated the qualifying session by like 2.5, 3/10 over everyone else. And we're behind Jeff Spangler for a little bit there. We were kind of wondering how did that pan out? How did Jeff get ahead of you? And was there any team orders just to try to pace each other at the beginning, or what was going on there?
He got me at the start. I think I just have really bad starts now. Yeah, when he did get ahead, I told him like, don't worry about me. I'm not gonna attack. Just keep it, unless you make a big enough mistake, I'm not gonna do anything. And then eventually that did happen, unfortunately. But should he have not, he would have won the race. So, oh well, I guess. We'll get
Yeah,
him next time.
we saw that he was, after that he had a couple more, little incidents there, and didn't look like he was having the most fun of a race. But was performing really well at the beginning part there, and definitely has the pace to come back next week and make something happen. But you guys as a team have been doing absolutely crazy. I mean, just blowing the doors off the competition. How are you feeling about the team championship going into week 7?
To be honest, I haven't even been looking at it too much.
He's just like
Gonna
me
take a
for
look
real.
now.
Just so fast and so far ahead of the competition, you don't even got to look at the score. You just already know.
Doesn't even care.
Yeah, no, I'm generally more concerned with the individual more than the team championship. But yeah,
Well,
those points would have been really beneficial for Jeff in his current position because it's really tight where he is.
You guys are just planning out how to do your shoey at this point. New
Yeah,
shoe, old
we'll
shoe,
make
sweaty shoe.
We'll make another script.
We need the cinematic experience this time. Okay, you were up there, once. We're gonna go up there twice. We need the cinematic intro, the drone shots of the whole thing. We got to make it happen.
Yeah, we'll see what we can do.
So the next 2 tracks are Mount Panorama and Silverstone. Which one are you more excited for?
If Silverstone's wet, which it should be,
Yes,
I'll be
it
a
is.
little bit more excited for that because I very much like driving in the rain. But Bathurst, I've done a Bathurst stint in the Honda before. It was very scary, to say the least.
I bet.
Yeah. So I'm not particularly excited for that, but it should be fun more or less, to say the least.
Well, I think it's going to be my drop race. Not because I don't show up, but because I finish last.
You just gotta believe, that's where all the time at Bathurst is. You just gotta believe.
Just close your eyes, let the wheel take control.
Exactly.
So you plow into half the field.
Yeah, ignore those loud banging noises.
I'll tell them, hey, I was just letting the wheel take control.
The car just did it on its own,
Jesus was actively taking the wheel, guys. There's nothing I could have done.
Jesus actively wrecked the field here.
Well, thank you for joining us up here, Ryan Yee, and another fantastic performance from you. And we'll look forward to seeing you up here next week. Maybe not with your Bathurst performance, but either way, it will be a good show to watch.
Yeah, congrats,
Thank
man.
you.
See you next time.
Yep, thanks for having me. Have a good night.
You as well. All right. So that concludes our post-race driver interviews. I want to go through one more time a big shout out to our SRA sponsors and title sponsors that hopefully you can see on screen there. Huge shout out to you guys. It means a whole lot to us as far as the admin team and us here in the booth being able to support all the fun things that we do. It comes from you guys. But I'd also like to thank Documise, which is a modern business solution for product management. Go to documise.com to learn more today. And support from Retro Saga, a North American-based gaming company that provides accessories for your favorite classic systems, including Nintendo, Sega, PlayStation, and much more. If you want to enhance your retro gaming experience, go to retrosaga.ca. A big thank you to our affiliates, Track Racer. Experience redefined gaming with Track Racer's high-quality sim rigs and racing accessories. Use code SRATE at checkout to support us. Armamentario Software is a toolbox for ACC that will enhance your chance to win. Enjoy a fully customizable and enhanced HUD to change the way you experience ACC. And lastly, To Go Setups, premium esports setups for everyone. And if you guys are interested in checking out Go Setups, make sure to use our affiliate link on our Discord and take your drive to the next level. And one last thank you to everyone watching here today. It was a pleasure broadcasting for you guys. Another fantastic race here at Oulton Park.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in, everybody.
And with that, we're calling it a night. Good night, folks.
See you next week.